Okay, I'll do another microphone check. Does that sound clear? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to an important moment in the life of the university, the debate among the candidates for the first executive vice president position, and also then the second round of debate among the candidates for the office of president of the Students' Union. My name is Tom Urbaniak. I'm a political science professor here at CBU, and I'm humbled to have been asked by Gabrielle and her team to moderate this debate. This is going to be a very fast-paced debate. The point is to get a lot of issues on the table, to get some reaction among the candidates, to get a sense of maybe their different visions for the university, and to stimulate more discussions going forward from this point on until the actual election takes place. So I'm just going to go quickly through the format, which will hopefully give equal opportunity to the candidates to share their perspectives. We're first going to hear opening statements, just a quick opening statement of 1 minute from the candidates. And then we'll have questions from the floor. Eleanor has been collecting some questions, and we might also go around with a microphone. Each candidate will have 30 seconds to respond to the question from the floor. The moderator has the right to reformulate the question a little bit to make it more accessible to the candidates. And the moderator would also have the discretion to pose a follow-up question, just if there's a sense that a little more discussion is needed on the point that's raised from the question from the floor. And then we'll do closing statements for 1 minute. So we'll go through this round with the candidates for Executive Vice President. We'll take a pause for a couple of minutes, and we'll then have the debate among the candidates for President. So just before the start time, the candidates had a short meeting, and at the end of the meeting, there was the drawing of lots to determine the order to start. And then the order will just rotate as we go through the questions. And we'll go in reverse order for the closing statements. So the candidate who drew lot number 1 for Executive Vice President opening statement was Geminique Lethen. And I'll invite Geminique to give an opening statement.
Good morning. My name is Geminique Lethen, and I'm running for Executive Vice President of CBU Student Union. In coming into office, I plan on listening to the student body, hear what it is that they want, that they need. Because Student Union is built for the students, by the students. Empower, uplift our atmosphere at CBU by encouraging, engaging with the student life, society, and community life at CBU. Provide assistance where needed to ensure that all student issues are met. Finally, I plan on executing, walk the walk. Everybody can do the talking, but when it comes to execution, it's rarely done. I plan on seeing every issue, event, and student need. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Geminique. And in the second position in terms of order for opening statements, Nagi Afti.
Hello, keepers. My name is Nagi. I'm running for Executive Vice President position. The main reason for me to run for this position to make CBU better. Before coming to Canada, I had big dreams to come here, get the best education I can do, and learn to be the best person I could. I thought I would come here and see a lot of opportunities, events happening around the campus that make me involved and get real experience, but I didn't. So the main goal for me, I want to provide this opportunity for every student coming here to get a real experience. The main goal for me for running this election, I'm working on the student cycle to provide the better quality of education, providing variety of skills for every student right here, and providing an opportunity to get a real experience to be able to get a good job. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nagi. And now I'd like to invite Avjinder Singh to give his opening statement.
Hi everyone, my name is Avjinder Singh Saini. It's an honor to have all of you here at the debate. I'm running for Executive Vice President of Students' Union. Well, I'm not a good orator, but I will try to make you understand what I'm going to do this year. Let's talk about some of my objectives. I will improve the transit service for students. Second, good guidance systems. Then more microwaves at the cafeteria. Then about organizing more events, fun events. Then I will make sure that every event must be promoted properly. Then talking about parties, more parties at the pit. Then we're gonna have a lot of trips, Skyline and Cabo Trail. Then I will try to increase funds for donation or for bursaries, scholarships. We will have educational workshops too this year, Tech Fest, Arts Fest. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and I'd like to now welcome Joel Jacob to give his opening statement.
Good afternoon, guys. My name is Joel Jacob. I'm a second-year student at CBU for Hospitality and Tourism. My main objective is not to have much of the plans and then not execute it. Executive Vice President is mainly to be there for the students, so I would like to be there for you guys and represent you, be the voice for you where you can't be. But I will definitely take up suggestions from students to represent to the management and see what can be done. Other than that, thank you.
Thank you very much to all the candidates. So now we'll go to questions from the floor. And Eleanor, I wonder if you could sort of pick out one of the questions that you've already collected. Okay. So I will read this question. CBU is unique in the fact that we have Unama'ki College on our campus. What will you do to ensure that the voices of Indigenous students are heard and their concerns addressed? So first responder to this question, Nagi Abdi. And we'll pass the mic to you. Yep. I'll repeat the question for all the candidates. I just had a request to maybe repeat to clarify the question, just so that all the candidates have the benefit of hearing the same thing that every individual candidate hears. I'll read the question again. So CBU is unique in the fact that we have Unama'ki College on our campus. What will you do to ensure the voices of our Indigenous students, that would include Mi'kmaq students, but also other members of Indigenous nations who are students on our campus, are heard and their concerns addressed? So I'll invite Nagi to give the first response.
You stand there and then pass it like to the
Yes, exactly.
So actually, I'm as an international student, so how we gonna write the voice of Indigenous people First of all, you have to be in touch with the students as more as you can to know their problems and do analysis for it. I see the main problems in the student union right now. Two problems is lack of communication and lack of promotion. So the first, before going for the problems, you have to listen up for them and doing a plan for how to solve these problems, and then make their voice up as much as you can. Thank you.
And if you could pass the microphone to Ginger for his response.
Hello. All right, for Mi'kmaq students, well, for all students, I'm planning to have events like, how does it sound, CBU's Got Talent. They will get platform for sharing their culture or whatever their language may be. So we can have that type of events in our college, or we can have some fairs, we can have some workshops to show their Mi'kmaq culture. We will have cultural events too. So this is how we're gonna do it. Thank you.
Well, the first thing would be we do have office for EVP, and then we will be definitely approachable to the students, as EVP's role is to be there for the students and hear their voices and speak to people whom they can't and be the voice for them. So definitely I will be an approachable person. I am. Most of the people know that. So that will be the main role for me as a person.
Japanese.
I do plan on hosting a cultural event for the Mi'kmaq community, whereas we can share and incorporate the culture of the Mi'kmaq students, where we share it with all of the different students, and we also express our diversity.
Thank you very much to all the candidates for replying. As mentioned, a follow-up question. I wonder if the candidates could speak a little bit about discussions that they have had in the process of campaigning with Mi'kmaq and other Indigenous students about some of the needs and aspirations that they have for the campus and that they would like to see the student union put into effect. So discussions and advice that you've heard and received from Indigenous students and how you intend to follow up. Okay, I will go with the same order, starting with Nagi.
So during my campaign, I found that like all of the students have a problem because they still in the same spot, they still in the same area. There is no cooperation environment in our campus. That's what we could do. We have to make our campus like more, creating like a cooperative environment by creating some events for multicultural students to make them involved with each other as much as they can. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ginger.
All right, I'm going to be creative now. Just like for campaigning, we use speakers for playing songs to attract people. We can use Mi'kmaq culture, like we can show their dance in cafeteria to attract more people for campaign. This is how we can attract more people or get more votes. Or, yeah, thanks. Thank you.
Well, the Mi'kmaq community has been doing a lot of events in the cafeteria for the past semesters, and I've seen that personally. They've been there for the Multiculturalism Day. That was one of the biggest events here. To get there, to hear their voices, we have to promote their events more. That's how we get to promote them as well. Thank you.
In speaking to students of the Mi'kmaq community, they've noticed that there is a lack of cultural expression, so I do plan on hosting more events to help them express their culture and help other people to get more involved also.
Thank you. Thank you very much for those responses to all the candidates. And now we'll go to the next question that has been submitted from the floor. As a member of the executive team, you are required to work 25 hours a week. Although in reality you will exceed those hours. as well as be registered in a minimum of 3 courses, how will you ensure you are able to manage your time to accomplish this? And what steps will you take to protect your mental health? So we will now start with Abjit.
Well, I have a lot of time for more activities. For mental health, I can go to gym, and I'm going to gym, and I can have fun for mental health, and yeah, I'll manage that. I have confidence. Thanks.
Every semester I only take 3 courses and I work for the university at the athletics, and I was able to manage it no matter whatever has happened. Mental health, I listen to a lot of music. I'm a musician as well, so it doesn't affect me much. I'm a cool guy. Thank you.
Well, it's all covered under time management. In the past 3 years, I've learned to manage my time, whether it's between classes, going to school, and also social life. So I am 100% sure that I'll be able to manage my classes and also working on those schedule with student union.
Actually, it's all about how you can handle your time. It's all about time management. I think I'm good with this, and it's developed through different experience back home and right here. Because right now I'm working as a associate and vice chair for the council. I started playing with Keeper soccer team, and I am working in campus as an RA. And you can look for the quality of our campaign. I think it's easy, it's not a problem, and it's developed by experience. Thanks.
Thank you very much. And just a little bit of a sound check. I know that we're having maybe some difficulty with sound carrying, and I'll ask the candidates to hold the microphone as closely as possible when it's your turn. So we'll go to the next question from the floor. In what ways will the 5-year revitalization plan have direct effects on students? In what ways will the 5-year revitalization plan have direct effects on students? So the first responder this time would be Jewel.
To be honest, I'm really not sure about this, so I don't want to just fake it up, so I'm not going to answer it. Thank you.
Shep.
Yep, the 5-year revitalization plan is something that I do plan on reading into more. At this moment, I am not 100% sure, but I will definitely have more information for students coming into office.
Nat. So the 5-year revitalization plan is a go forward.
Like actually, through my profession, I'm working to fix like some basics that help the students for long run. As I mentioned, through developing the academic side, providing some opportunities, and making and helping to create a cooperative environment. So this is the basics that we need for the next 5 years.
Well, I don't know what it is, but I'll try to find it later, and I'll happy to answer that question later. So I'll answer that, don't worry. Thank you.
So the moderator will ask a follow-up question. There are a number of institutional changes happening on campus with respect to the leadership and vision of the university as a whole. Can you comment on some of the positive changes that you've seen, or perhaps some of the concerns that you have with respect to the general direction of the university? So we'll go in the same order. Jewel?
Well, to be honest, with the new new management or the new presidential changes, it's just starting to happen. The changes are just starting to happen, so we are not yet to comment on all those. In the follow-up, we will, once we get to know the full details of what is happening. Thank you.
Shamini?
Yes, for the past 2 years, there has been quite a few changes happening at CBU, whether it was the strike or it was just our new president coming in set. Definitely my plan is to get to know more information on exactly what's going on and to create a plan and implement it in case anything else was to happen.
Maggie?
To me, I will look for this question in a positive way. So, right now we have a strong athletic department. So the soccer team and rugby team and basketball team, they did a good job in the AUC championship and in the national as well. So we have soccer team and in the first team is the national. So they need like more resources and more promotion, more help to keep going in the same level. And the rugby team as well, they're suffering right now because they need more resources. Thank you.
About talking about this, the changes, I can't comment right now about the changes because it's a new thing. So we'll find later what's going on here, then I will answer that. All right? Thank you.
Thank you very much to all the candidates for your responses to those two questions. We have another question now from the floor. Okay. So the question from the floor is, how will you handle potentially being attacked on social media for decisions you have made in the union? Again, how will you handle potentially being attacked on social media for decisions you have made in the union? And we're back to the starting order, Gemini.
As we know, social media is a huge part of every student's life. I do plan on handling it in a positive way and not striking back negatively, because it does not also fall back on me, it falls back on student union. And I will be representing student union, which means I will give a outlet for that.
Thank you. Maggie?
Actually, we're gonna use social media in a positive way to show what's going on in our campus. So we're going to like video like the Happy University to show up how our students they are happy, and we're gonna make like competitions, campaigns for the students to be involved in showing like a positive side in our university in social media. Thanks.
Thank you. Abjit?
Well, everyone uses social media, me too, everyone. So social media is a good platform for promotion of every event, I guess, but we should not use it in a negative way, we can use it in a positive way. And as well, my brother is a social media ambassador of CBU, so we can promote a lot of events for unions, student union, what is happening here on the social media. All right, thanks.
Jewel?
As the question was, what if the attack, like if some of the students attack your decision on social media, if they attack, it's their voice to show that you have taken a wrong decision or you have to think over it. Some of the students haven't really taken it in a good way. So it's better to go out there, talk to the students, find out and change or get the decision better. Thank you.
Thank you. So a follow-up question to the candidates. How would you use your office as Executive Vice President, if you are elected to that office, to promote a general climate of dignity and respect on campus? We'll start with the Japanese.
I definitely plan on using my office as an open door for all students. Any needs that may come up, they can definitely come to my office anytime, anywhere if they need me. I will always be there and I'm free at all times.
Thank you. Maggie?
Actually, I will change the style of my office by like providing like our plan in different language at the respect of different international students. And I will change the style of my office to respect like different mentalities and different ways to respect all the students right here. And actually my office will be open for everyone in welcome anytime.
Thank you. Ginger?
Well, definitely the door of my office will be open, but I would like to carry my office with me wherever I go. I will not tell anyone that right now I'm busy. I'm busy in studying whatever in this activity. If anyone comes to me for sharing his or her problem, I'll definitely answer them. So my office is gonna be everywhere with me. Thank you.
Thank you. Jewel?
The office definitely has hours which can be used. So it would be more of, office would be always open for anyone who has issues, but more of, they can text us, email us, find us on social media, text us. But office will always be open to any students who has any issues other than, our problems. Thank you.
Thank you. You have time for another? Thank you. The question is as follows. Again, a question that has been submitted from the floor. I saw in some campaign that some of you are trying to reduce the international student fees. If that is the plan, how are these activities going to be covered if there is not enough money to do this? So again, I saw in some campaign that some of you are trying to reduce the international student fees. If that is the plan, how are these activities going to be covered if there is not enough money to do this? First responder, Nag.
Actually, it's not my point because I think there is no validation for this idea. But I'm gonna answer like all of my plans. I'm trying to make it simple as much as I can. I'm looking for the validation of ideas by hosting like newcomers, like enacted CBU, sustainability office, stat docs. So that's it.
Thank you. Ginger?
Well, international student fee for this university is already less compared to other universities in Canada. So that is not my point. I didn't give that point that I'm going to reduce the international student fee. So it's already less. Thank you.
Joe?
To be honest, I didn't do any campaigning, so I didn't have any points. Basically, like I said, I'm just going to be there for the students, be their voice, not make points and not make it happen because I don't own the university or the student union. There is a management, there are responsible people. I can just take suggestions from students and represent it to them, and they will take the decision. So that's all. Thank you.
In reducing international fees, which will be a great thing, there are other ways to come up with funding, such as fundraising. So if we don't have enough to cover such an event, then we can always go to an alternative as fundraising.
Thank you very much to the candidates. Next question from the floor. What makes you stand out against the other candidates? Or what makes you stand out vis-a-vis the other candidates? Avjinder, I believe is the first responder.
Well, I got a lot of plans this year. This year is going to be very awesome. And I got a lot of creative ideas too. And blog plans, scholarships, more events, more workshops, tech fest. I have a lot of experience. I did 4 years of Bachelor of Engineering. And I have a lot of experience of Tech Fest, more events I have participated. So I'll organize those events. So that's what makes me stand out from other candidates. Thank you.
Thank you. Jewel?
Well, it's you guys who should decide if I stand out than the others. It's not me who's going to decide that, but I really didn't have much of a plan I have plans in my head, but I'm not ready to say it out without making sure I can execute it. definitely I have to talk to the student union management about my plans, and they decide if it has to happen or not. So I really think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Gemini?
What makes me stand out is that I'm already involved with student union and society life. I am currently the co-president for the Business Society and co-president for the African Caribbean Societies. So I already have a feel as to what societies are looking for and what students are looking for in social life.
Thank you. Aggie?
I'm running for this position concerning to my experience. And I was an ambassador for my university. I was team leader for Student Success and Support Unit, and I was vice president for Eagles team. And I'm here with the SLC for Shan School of Business, and I'm vice chair for the council. I'm doing all of these things because I like to be involved in campus. I love helping the students, so this is so simple.
Thank you very much. Eleanor, how are we doing for time? Do we have time for one more question? Gabrielle? Yep, okay.
We're out of questions from the floor, like that were written down.
Okay, so we are out of the written questions, Eleanor has indicated. Is there any question from the floor that anyone would like to raise at this time? Yes, sir.
So a major part of being the executive vice president for the Students' Union is enhancing the academic quality of the institution and advocating for that from a student perspective. So I want to know if you have any plans on how you're going to better the quality of education at CBU, or what experiences you have in fighting for such a thing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and asked by someone with direct experience. So we'll start with Jewel.
Well, good question, right? Well, basically, I know a lot of students who struggle with academic stuff when they just come down and they don't know where to buy the textbooks from when it's not available at the bookstore. So it's definitely a point where you can push towards the library to get more books based on their each subject. So each courses have to have specific books, at least one available for them to rent out. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Yep, I do plan on getting more involved with the societies, such as Math Society, Business Society, where we can implement more gaming while going forward with education. Why not make it fun at the same time? Business Society that usually takes part in a competition yearly, which will be a great opportunity for the school and great notification also.
Maggie?
Actually, this is the main goal for me, so I will raise the students' voice in the academic senate by keeping in touch with the students to know their problems, and there is a committee which is doing a kind of evaluation for all CBU courses. So I will be part in this committee to know all the issues related to these courses and try to change it in the positive way to give a real benefit for the students. Thank you.
Thank you. Ginger?
As I told you that I have a lot of experience in organizing events and all that back in India, but here I want to organize educational workshops like robotics workshop. It sounds great. Interested student can participate in that and they can learn more. Then personality development workshops. This type of events we can organize for students for educational purposes. Thank you.
Thank you. Would you like to ask a follow-up from the floor?
Yeah. Okay, I'll be a little more clear and look for some of your past experiences, I guess. As the Vice President of the Students' Union, you'll be charged with fighting academic appeals for students, being by their side and helping them. What experience do you have in helping students before this campaign has begun? Thank you.
We'll go in the same order. Start with Joe.
I have been working for the university from the second semester I came here. I have always looked up to being there for the students. I've helped them with housings, I'm not ready to brag about all what I've done, but I have definitely been there for the international students mainly, because I've been around for airport pickups and all the other events that was possible, but I'm not going to brag about what I have done or what I am going to do, so thank you.
Gemini?
Before coming to university, I sat on our student union in high school as a governing member, where we dealt with student issues and concerns to grading or final exams and makeup exams, so forth. So I've been fighting for students' rights before I came to university.
Natalie?
Concerning to my experience as a team leader for student success and support unit, which basically was focusing on how to improve the academic side and looking for the courses and doing analysis for the professors and all of these points that can help the students, and creating like different teams from students those like finished these courses actually to helping the new students. So I think I have a good analysis how to do analysis for the courses and the ways as a professor teaching these courses in a good way.
And Abjay?
Well, I don't have a lot of experience here because I just came here 5 months ago. I'm new here. But back in my country, I got a lot of experience. But to mention few, I did housing for students who came here in January. Then I already put request for rugby team. They were champion last year. I already put the request for their profile on Goalkeepers Go just maybe 1 week ago before campaign. So thank you.
Thank you very much. So we now move to the closing statements of the candidates, and we'll proceed in reverse order of the opening statements. So we'll start with Jewel Jacob.
Well, I really don't know what to say for a closing statement, but so far, whatever questions that have come up, I definitely know students need a lot of things, and they are in look of the right people to get their things done and be there for them. So I am not a person who has made a lot of points or plans to get it done, but I do have a lot of stuff in head, which I will, if elected as the VP, talk to the management and get it done. But it's more of the executive vice president being there for the students, as Roy mentioned. It's more about being the voice for them. So I will definitely be the voice for them all the time. Thank you.
Thank you. So continuing in reverse order of the opening statements, Abjinder.
Well, for closing, I'm going to tell you that I will work hard for this position as an executive vice president. I will organize more events. And one more, these moments are very precious to everyone, because one day in future we all are going to miss this time. This is going to be a memorable time. I want to make this year a memorable year with more fun. Trust me guys, you're going to miss this year in future. And I'll work hard. Thank you.
Thank you. Nagi Abdi.
Like, actually, to me, I want to change the way that we interact in our campus. That's why I'm totally focusing on how we're gonna make the interaction for the students in our campus positive. And actually, I'm looking for different plans through keeper convenience, through the bid, through the academic side, providing experience to the students, and hosting new committees, as I mentioned, like TEDx, Enacted Sustainability Office. I think which all of them will be the first time hosting here at CBU. Actually, I want to make our campus the place where the students get like a really great time, because we live the university life just once, so we have to enjoy it as much as we can. So this is the main idea for me.
Thank you. Gemini.
I hope my answers today were sufficient enough for everybody, but in coming in office, I do plan on listening, empowering, and also executing coming into office. Before coming into office, I've been fighting for the students, and if elected, I will continue to fight. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a pause of not more than 5 minutes During that time, I'd like to meet with the candidates for president for a short briefing. And then when we reconvene in 5 minutes, we will have the presidential debate. So please stay with us. I think it promises to be an excellent discussion about the future of the student union and the university. I want to thank warmly, with a round of applause, the candidates for Executive Vice President. Thanks for your service to CBU. Thanks for sharing, and good luck with your campaign. So now I'll meet with the